I'm Maggie Atkinson and I'm Children's Commissioner for England, and it's my job to promote and protect the rights of the child. So I was delighted when the parliamentarians who steered this report asked me if I would put forward into it, and that's what you're reading if you've got this video. It's desperately important that we understand what leadership these parliamentarians have shown in bringing this to our attention. Childcare in this country is already expensive. It's expensive if you're a family with no disabilities in your children. If you're a family with a disabled child, everything in your life is more expensive than what is being spent by families who live around you with no disabilities. Transport, food, heating, water, the cost of more washing, potentially the cost of adapted transport and an adapted home, all land on your shoulders if you have a child with a disability. If you have a young child with a disability and you need childcare, what you need is childcare that will adapt to your child. It isn't your job or your child's to adapt to that care. It's the setting's job to adapt to you. Families and children tell me that they don't want segregated childcare, they want to be with the peers of the children concerned. Families and children tell me that they want settings that respect their children and include them, and challenge children with disabilities to stretch further than they thought they could in play, in risk-taking, in socialising with their peers. But it's equally important that children without disabilities understand that we live in a diverse world and that some of the people they grow up with will have fewer physical abilities or indeed intellectual abilities than they do, but they are still their friends and their neighbours and the children with whom they will go to school and grow up and become citizens. If we can get childcare right in the very early years for children with all sorts of needs and difficulties, we stand a chance of making a civilised society in which they will grow up to be leaders and parents themselves. It's their right. Under the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, if you have disabilities, Article 23 says society has to match what you need. I back what this report says. I thank the parliamentarians again for doing this piece of work. I know this report will live on after this launch, and that's my hope. Godspeed.